So 10 ideas came out of the 2006 initiative. This is idea number 3, which I think is very relevant to us here. Idea number 3 was the idea of real-time language translation services. And in fact, you'll see that we go all the way. It's not just from text to text, but it actually goes all the way from speech to speech. And so this was one of the projects in which our chairman, out of the 10 projects, this is one of them, 100 million total, 10 million was assigned to this particular project. And this is the project, and if you go to the next chart, you know, and it goes all the way, as I said, not just text to text, but speech to speech. And in this particular example, you can see from going from English to Mandarin. If you go to the next chart, and I'm just going quickly because I got a few more charts, and I don't want to keep you from lunch. But this is an example of using that real-time translation service. This is actually still text to text, but you're doing instant messaging, and so this is in the context of a help desk situation, and you've got a Spanish-speaking person asking IT help from an English-speaking agent, and you can see in the chart here the translation that happens and the backward translation that happens on the right side of the chart. If you go to the next chart, this is what I meant by voice to voice, and in fact, you know, during the Olympics recently, we were using something like this, using our technology in you know, on like a BlackBerry. So you could actually, if you were getting into a taxi and you wanted to find, you know, you wanted to tell the taxi driver where you wanted to go, you could speak in Chinese, you could speak in English, and it would speak in Chinese, and you could have the taxi driver, you know, hear what was happening. So this is. You know, we're a technology company. You know, as I said, you know, 400 million words a year is a lot. And, you know, the more we can do using technology to help, you know, we want to continue to push in that direction. If you go to the last chart, the next chart, the last, no, just one back, yeah. The one other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, we're all familiar with the World Wide Web and the Internet web. But of course, you know, only 83% of the world has no access to Internet. And in many of these parts of the world where they can't afford a PC or can't use a PC for literacy reasons, you know, people still use the mobile phone. And so we are working on a research project for places like, you know, Africa and India and other places where, in fact, phone use is very high, on what we're calling the worldwide telecom web. So instead of websites, there are voice sites. And, you know, if you're a carpenter or, you know, and, you know, your customers can't get to a website, then this is a way in which they can get to your voice site. So, you know, you might be busy, you know, doing your carpentering work for a client. You can't answer the phone, but your clients can still get to your voice site while you're away, and they can get information similar to getting information on your website, like, you know, what are your prices and when are you available? I mean, all the kinds of things that you'd get from a website, but you get it through voice. And so that's another interesting research project that we have. So anyway, I hope I gave you a sense that, you know, this is really important for us, and we're working on many aspects of it, including research, that hopefully will be beneficial to all of us as we go forward. I will end with my very last chart, which says thank you in all the different languages. I wanted to point out one last, on a personal note, at the very bottom there, the language that I happened to, when I grew up, Malayalam was my language, so that's the language at the very bottom there. And, you know, the only thing unique, and some linguistic expert is going to correct me, so I might as well know if this is true or not, but I've always grown, all through life, I have understood that Malayalam is the only language that is spelt the same backwards and forwards. You know, Malayalam, M-A-L-A-Y-A-L-A-M, M-A-L-A-Y-A-L-A-M. It's a palindrome, and as far as I know, it's the only palindrome. And if I'm wrong, you know, so I'm sure someone will break my heart and tell me that, no, there's another one. But anyway, that's one unique and personal note about myself. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this very interesting intervention, and I think we all learned something.